Hello again guys, welcome back to my channel The Poetry of Nice, a place where I talk all about reselling online. Today I'm going to be talking about Poshmark shipping versus eBay shipping. We're going to be doing kind of a face-off between the two. I'm going to break them down into different categories and let you know what the deal is with each of them. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is the types of shipping that you have on each platform. When it comes to Poshmark, the only type of shipping available is priority mail shipping. Essentially, as soon as somebody purchases an item, Poshmark will send you to your email a shipping label that's ready for you to print, and as long as the item or items that you're shipping are under £5, I believe it is now, always check on the Poshmark website just to make sure, because these things do fluctuate over time, and although I hope this video is evergreen, it might change, so, you know, keep your eyes open. But as of right now, when I'm recording this video, it's under £5. You can use that shipping label and you can ship it anywhere you want to, whether it's a poly mailer or a priority mail box free from USPS, which you can order online to be delivered to your house, or you can pick them up in a post office and just take them for free. Or of course, you could use your own shipping materials, your own cardboard boxes and things like that. You can even use priority mail flat rate shipping products like the priority mail padded envelopes, or the normal envelopes, or the priority mail flat rate boxes that you have as well. It doesn't have to have anything else other than the Poshmark sticker they provide you, because actually now they've added to the bottom of the sticker a little blurb from Poshmark saying they have an agreement with the USPS that it doesn't matter if it's a flat rate box, the shipping materials don't matter. It's always still going to be the flat Poshmark shipping fee. I hope that makes sense. So basically with Poshmark, it's always going to go priority mail and you can ship it anywhere you like as long as it is secure. Don't use, however, priority mail express. I would not use those shipping materials. I think that might be pushing it, but the rest of it I'd say is fair game. When it comes to eBay, you have all kinds of different options, which instantly makes it just a little bit more complicated. I can't speak to every single one because I personally don't use some of them, like FedEx or regional A's and B's. That's just not something I've ever gotten into. I like to keep it as simple as possible for myself, but I will speak to the ones I've been using for the last 4 years. Number one would be first class. I usually ship this in a poly mailer. Little tip here, if you have an eBay store, double check and make sure that you don't have an eBay shipping materials coupon. I have I think it's the premium store. It's the one that's under Anchor. So every quarter, so 4 times a year, I go ahead and get a free coupon for having that store for $50 worth of shipping materials. And I spend that on eBay branded poly mailers, so I get those for free. And those are usually what I use to ship out my first class items, as long as they're, you know, not a breakable or oversized. Number 2 would be priority mail. So again, you can use those USPS priority mail boxes that you can get for free in a post office or ordered and delivered to your house. Or you could use your own shipping materials as well, you know, cardboard boxes that you've saved and things like that. It should be fine. I would suggest avoiding things like using, I can't believe, cereal boxes, or I've seen people do cat food boxes. That is not dissing anybody who's starting out. We all start somewhere, but it would be my advice to try and get your hands on maybe an old Amazon box or something like that if you're really looking for something. Maybe even go into a store like Dollar Tree or Dollar General or Target and ask if they have any cardboard boxes that you are able to take home. I've done that before. It's worked out fine, and it's a good way to get free shipping materials. Just a tip. Next would be flat rate priority mail on eBay. So again, this is like your flat rate padded envelopes, just your flat rate envelopes, flat rate small box, medium box, large box. The list tends to go on, but those on eBay are going to need to be very specifically put into the category that they are when you're doing your calculated shipping. You will pay the flat rate for that. So I think the flat rate padded envelope, for instance, right now is around $8 that the customer pays, and we as people shipping on eBay pay $7.33. Now, side note, there are other ways that you can ship when it comes to eBay and some of those online places. I know Pirate Ship is one. I've touched on that before as a resource for resellers. And there are a few different ones as well that I'm not super familiar with. I can only tell you that I go through eBay. I probably am leaving money on the table doing that, honestly. I know there are some great ways to ship much, much cheaper across country and even across the globe using some of those resources. However, I'm not familiar, so I'm not going to speak to them when I don't know them, unfortunately. I will try and put some resources down below in the description box though, so if you're interested in learning more, hopefully that can give you the first step into checking some of those things out and doing some research yourself. I can also speak to USPS USPS ground. I use that personally if I'm shipping something with batteries that I can't take out, or perfume, because that's not supposed to go in an aeroplane, that's supposed to stay on the ground in the US. So USPS ground is what I would use for that. And that's about it for eBay for me. Like I said, I try to keep it really, really simple. Okay, so next one we're going to talk about is packaging. So when it comes to packaging on Poshmark, I kind of touched on this with both of them already, but I will let you know that when it comes to USPS, go on their website, take a look at the materials that you can buy there, the shipping materials. They have all kinds of different things. So like I said, I get my poly mailers from eBay. You can order them off Amazon if you want to. You can get fun prints. There are all kinds of different places you can get them from, but just kind of shop around and try and keep their cost of goods low would be my advice when it comes to that. I also talked about where you could get some free shipping materials, like asking at stores or saving your old boxes. When it comes to USPS, what I tend to order are a whole bunch of the flat rate padded envelopes. They tend to be the only ones that I use in terms of flat rate for the most part. I also like to have the large boxes, not flat rate, just large boxes. I like to have shoe boxes, the board game boxes that they have there. And there's one that's 7 by 7 by 7. I don't know what it's called, but I call it my mug box or my bra box or my hat box. It just depends if I'm shipping those items priority mail. But those are the ones that I have all the time on hand in my sort of inventory room in case I need to grab them. Again, they work for either Poshmark or eBay. Just remember, at eBay, if you're using priority mail shipping materials, you have to ship it priority mail. You can't use a priority mail box and ship it first class. It just doesn't work that way. Okay, so next let's talk about shipping speed, because they do differ a little bit. On Poshmark, if you Google it, the official sort of line that they give you is that people will ship within 5 days, although most sellers ship within 2. So I take that as you have 5 days. I'm assuming 5 business days, though it doesn't say that specifically, in order to ship your item, but that they prefer it to be in 2. And I would say that as a seller, if you're able to, try to aim for that 1 to 2 day mark, sort of business day wise. I personally try to ship all of my items the next day. So if I get an order in on a Monday, I'm actually either shipping them on the Tuesday, or if it's past 7 p.m, that's my personal cut-off time, I will be packaging them up on the Tuesday and shipping them out on the Wednesday. That's just something I have to do for my sanity. I package all my items and do all my shipping and stuff in the evenings because that's the best time for me. I can't really do it in the morning with my kids running around. It's just too chaotic. But that's my personal way of doing it, and people shift that all over the place, I know. Some people have to run it out to the post office, and that can change things as well. It might make it easier or harder to do it in the morning or the evening, I'm not sure. I personally use USPS pickup. It's completely free. You have to go on the website, make sure it's in your area and it's available. I think it's available in most areas, but literally I just set it up the night before and they will come to my door when they bring my mail the next day, and they'll take my packages with them and scan them in. I'm blessed with a wonderful mail lady. Honestly, she's a gift. And so I've never had a problem with that. I'm sure some people do. Again, I can't speak to that because I've had a wonderful experience, but I definitely recommend looking into that if you're not wanting to make a trip to the post office every day or every other day. When it comes to eBay, it's really up to you how fast you ship. You can actually alter this on the profile to say how quickly you ship as a seller. It can vary from the same business day as an option that you would tell your buyers on the listing, or it can go all the way up to 30 business days. I always keep mine as a handling time of 1 business day, again meaning if I get an order on a Tuesday before 7 p.m, I'm packaging it up and it's out on the Wednesday. If I'm getting an order on Tuesday past 7 p.m, I'm packaging on Wednesday, sending it on Thursday. I just find that that's something that my customers really enjoy. I'm always getting feedback to do with the shipping time, it being so quick, and it's honestly not too hard for me to maintain that. I'm very much in a rhythm now, and so it's something that's quite simple for me to do. However, please bear in mind, I'm packaging like maybe 2 to 7 orders a day. I'm not doing like 50 items a day, so that would probably change for somebody who is doing that kind of volume, but for me it's very manageable. When it comes to being on vacation, I will say very quickly with eBay, that's when I will go in and change my handling time for all of my items. You can do it as a bulk edit, but you have to do it for all of your items individually within that bulk feature. I hope that makes sense. But instead of being 1 handling day, I might change it to, I don't know, 15 day handling time, and that way it gives myself some breathing room to get back and get everything packaged and sent, and then I'll just change it back when I'm settled. So next I wanted to talk about wrapping and kind of style when it comes to Poshmark and eBay. So a long time ago when I first started out, I first started like with Etsy and eBay. Etsy I still do, but it's very quiet for me now. I focus mostly on Poshmark and eBay. I used to do things differently between the two. On Poshmark I would take the time, and Etsy, to wrap the items in tissue paper and put thank you stickers inside. I didn't always do the thank you note, but it really depended on the item. But I took a lot more, I suppose you could say, care in a way, and then popped it in a poly mailer and all that kind of stuff. eBay, I've always just kind of popped them in a poly mailer and sent them on their way. I'm not sure why I differentiated them like that, but I don't anymore is what I'm going to tell you. Sort of for better or worse, I've trimmed down the supplies that I'm using, that I have to interact with and things like that, and the time I'm taking to do my shipping. And with 100% honesty, I have seen no detriment to my business whatsoever for not taking the time to wrap the items in tissue paper. It hasn't made a single bit of difference to the amount I'm doing in sales, to my feedback, to returning customer base, none of that kind of stuff. That could be different for other people, and I completely applaud the people who invest, you know, their time and their creativity and things in branding their business. I think that's something I might like to do eventually. I definitely see the appeal, and I think it's often so beautiful. I've received things myself from Poshmark where I've seen the care that someone's taken, and it's honestly brightened my day. But for me right now in this particular season of life, it is more important to me that I get those items out on time, and I'm making sure that they're in good condition and all that kind of stuff. And I'm getting fresh listings up that day than it is to sort of go the whole tissue paper, stickers, handwritten note route. That's a very personal choice. But I wanted to let you guys know that I used to do that. So if that's something that really appeals to you and you want to invest in your branding and your sort of client interaction in that way, there's definitely something you can do on either of the platforms really, and enhance your customer experience. Okay, and the very last point I wanted to touch on between the two are discounts, or shipping discounts to be more specific. So there are all kinds of different discounts that you could do between Poshmark and eBay, I know, but when it comes very specifically to shipping, you can set those up on either platform too. When it comes to Poshmark, if you send out an offer to likers, for example, you have to include a shipping discount. You can either include, I think it's like $1.80 at this point. Again, it fluctuates. It's around the $2 mark you would have to give as a shipping credit to your customer that you're sending the offer to, that comes out of your pocket in order to send that offer out to likers. However, if you put the item in a bundle, or they bundle the item or several items together, and you send an offer, you do not have to, you're not obliged to include a shipping discount. So just bear that in mind. But it's good to know that you have the option. You can either take that $2 off as an incentive, or you can even provide free shipping to your Poshmark customer if you really want to. Bear in mind, Poshmark shipping is a flat rate, and I think at this point, again, I think it's $6.99. Changes with time. So in order to keep this like more of an evergreen content, just make sure you Google and double check it, but it's around that $6.99 kind of mark. And so that is what you would be paying out of pocket in order to give the free shipping to your customer. When it comes to eBay, there are all kinds of different like promotions and markdowns and things like that you can do. But when it comes specific to shipping, you could set it up where you have, if the customer bundles a certain amount of items, they get free shipping or discounted shipping, or when they send you an offer, if they request discounted shipping, that's something you can do. Just make sure you let them know that you're going to need to go ahead and update their invoice and send that through before they pay. That's usually one of the easiest ways to do it. It's very simple. Just once they've bought it, you can go ahead and click on send an invoice. You can do that. You can update what you want their shipping to reflect at that point, send it through, and then they can pay according to that. All right. That's all of it. I really hope that that helped demystify just a little bit. I know it's complicated and it takes a while to get your head around it. The thing that I would say more than anything is make sure that your items are nicely folded and nicely presented. You know, they've been lint rolled, they've been glanced over one more time. They're not just shoved in, you know, they're very carefully put in, and that your packaging is sturdy and it's clean and it's nicely presented. It doesn't necessarily have to be covered in beautiful multicolored pineapples in order to give the customer a good experience. It just needs to arrive there in you know, good condition as far as we can control, since we're not the mail carrier, you know what I mean. As long as it's packaged well, basically. A good thank you sticker goes a long way. I do still do those on the outside of my packages, and I think I always will. And as long as the packaging isn't, you know, dirty or ripped or, you know, kind of Frankenstein together when it doesn't have to be, I would say your customer's still going to be thrilled to receive that item just as it is. All right, you guys, I'm going to invite you all to put any questions that you might have down in the comments, because I assume that there may be some, and I will do my absolute best to either answer them as I know, or to help you find some resources if you need a little bit of extra help in order to find those accurate answers. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you are new here, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button down below, come back and hang out some more. Don't forget to say hello in the comments so I can say hi back, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, you guys.